So
It's a fair point. And so even though this next topic is basically the same exact discussion, I do think that it's a little different because even though Tua Tagovailoa has dealt with injuries in his career and he hasn't even won a playoff game yet in his career, um, I will say that we have seen a much, much, much larger sample size from Tua than we have from the next guy who just got paid. And that's Jordan Love, who got a 4-year, $220 million extension from the Green Bay Packers. I do think that this is something that they had to do because, as I had just said, they don't have an immediate replacement that's going to be better. But, Kevin, in my opinion, putting aside like the semantics, I don't think that Jordan Love was worthy of this contract. Like he had one good season. He beat the fucking scrubs of the playoffs to get his one playoff win. He took out the Dallas Cowgirls, who can't win a playoff game to save their lives. And so it's like they had to do this, but was he deserving of it? I don't think so. Jaevon, what about you?
hey man, I posted this on my Instagram story a couple of days ago when the story broke, and I was getting some Packer fans.
Oh,
Khalil Wilson, one of those guys that came at me and said, "You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know ball." And I was like, "Hey man, let's just do some math. So you're saying off of 9 games, he is going to be the highest, tied for the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He got $55 million a year over 4 years. Is what he's getting, 220 for 4. So I see both sides of it. So from the Packers standpoint, you're like, all right, as you know, Kevin listed, I think last week it was I forgot who the backup quarterbacks were, but I remember a Sean Clifford. There's a Easton Stick, I think he said was in there.
yep.
Um, you take Jordan Love out of that. What are the Packers? You throw those guys in there. What are they gonna? What is it? What are their? What's the record gonna be next year? Where are they gonna go? Like they win 3 games next year?
If
Probably.
that.
So first half of the season, not so great. I mean, you're losing to Danny DeVito. You're getting blown out at home by the Lions on that Thursday
Think we lost
game,
him.
which lost me a lot of money. Thank you, Jordan Love. I mean, they're just they had some bad games in that first half of the year. Thanksgiving comes around, Jordan Love's throwing dimes. They're on Thanksgiving. They're like, oh, well, here come the Packers, And then they crawl their way into the playoffs. I think it takes the last couple of weeks for them to kind of solidify themselves going in, and they're a touchdown dog in the playoffs on the road to the Dallas Cowboys. And I was like, I'm not sure if the Packers win, but I would definitely take them to cover the spread. We'll see kind of what it looks like. And they kind of go out there and when I say obliterate the Cowboys, it was bad. Like almost over in like the first half. That's how bad that game was. And they kind of came out and they took the team by storm, and even it carried on into the next week when they played the San Francisco 49ers on the road. And for a half, they looked like they were the better team. They looked like, oh, the Packers, are they going to shock the world and go into San Francisco with Santa Clara at Levi Stadium and dethrone the San Francisco 49ers? And then, things started to happen. I thought Jordan Love played okay in that game. He didn't play great. So the Packers are like, whoa, shit. The first year started. This is what he did. And what was their record last year? I think they went 10-7.
Yeah, something that sounds about right.
10-7 first year. And this is basically all of 1 year. He's going to be the highest paid guy. I don't know. That's just a little much for me off of half a season. I get there's some playoff success in there, but can he duplicate this for a full year? And that was kind of a question. Even going into the playoffs last year, like Jordan Love started playing good, but he needs to play good for an entire season. And I think that's fair to say that we still haven't seen enough. Now, playoff success is what a lot of quarterbacks usually get paid off of. And and he's won a playoff game. Trevor Lawrence won a playoff game. Tua Tagovailoa has not, but the Dolphins are pretty much trapped. So it usually kind of comes down to front office and production for when guys get paid because the front office is like, all right, if we don't sign this guy, what are we going to do? We need a quarterback. So, like, if we don't sign this guy, we're, in NFL hell, in a wasteland when you don't have a quarterback. You're kind of just stuck. And then if we do sign him, you're handicapping your team because the quarterback accounts for so much of the cap. And we have to be formidable. So I kind of see both sides of it. I don't know if I would have gave him groundbreaking money and have him, reset the market per se, but I don't know, man. I would like to see a little bit more from Jordan Love. I think he's very talented. Has a lot of traits that you would love to have in a quarterback. He's young, so all be it to him. I know he's definitely happy for signing generational money for him and his family. But I mean, would love to see a lot more. Would love to see more. He's on a trajectory of being the next guy for the Packers. But definitely would like to see a lot more from Jordan Love and him. Can he be consistent going forward?
Kevin, that's two people that aren't really sure if he should have been paid or at least paid this much. What say you?
So 1 out of 10, no number order in Pacific. Is Justin Herbert a top 10 quarterback?
Yeah.
Why?
No.
Numbers.
Justin Herbert not top 10 is crazy.
So it's crazy to say someone that Justin Herbert's not top 10, right? Go ahead, Shaun. Tell us the list. You don't have to be specific with numbers. Just give us 10 quarterbacks better than Justin Herbert.
Okay, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Aaron Rodgers, I'd also count him in there. Help me out, guys. Drawing blanks.
Help me out. You're on.
The answer, fact. He is the top 10 quarterback.
All right, so everyone on this panel believes Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback.
Not top 5.
Not top 5, top 10.
Yes.
0 playoff wins. Kyler Murray, once a set of time, set the market, 46.1. 0 playoff wins. Tua, 53.1, just signed. Pitt is not even, ink isn't even dry yet. No playoff wins. And they all have seasons on seasons on seasons. What did Jordan Love do in his first year as a starter? First half, shaky. Second half, you can say one of the top quarterbacks in the NFC. He was second in touchdowns in the NFL. And he is paid this money, not one, because he won a playoff game, but two, because he is the offense. You look to your right, you see Christian Watson, a guy we thought was going to be this and that. You look to your left, you got Romeo Doubs, and you look to the slot, and you got Jalen Reed. Arguably, bottom half of the league.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. I think there was really good.
I can name you 6 better trios, 7 better trios.
Sure, but I don't think that they're.
But what you're basing off is potential. I'm basing off what we've seen. Because you still think Christian Watson could go.
Yeah.
And he can't stay on the field, so I don't know where he's going to go. So they are paying Jordan Love this money to run the show. Tua got paid that money to not fuck the show up. This guy has – people say it's only 1 year. If Tua got the chance to sit behind a Hall of Fame MVP quarterback for 3 years, everybody in Miami is saying, not his fault, He did sit behind MVP. It's not like he sat behind Carson Wentz, It's not like he sat behind a Mitchell Trubisky. So you get paid when you produce and you dominate, and that's what he did. So I think this is a great extension from him. He said he wasn't going to go out there and play until then, and we know, like Toddy mentioned, we mentioned the quarterback room without Jordan Love. Like I mentioned with Tua, you're not going to want to tank the season to then get one of these good quarterbacks. You want to win games and win now. You're getting the pieces around. You just got into Josh Jacobs, a Darnell Savage. You have all these pieces on defense. Let's put it together. And Toddy, the pack is back.
The pack is back. That was a clip that I was sending around to all of my friends.
Nonstop for
I was so ready to post that on my story when they beat y'all. I had a whole post. The pack is back, and I was like, "Oh, next to go to the drafts."
There's a lot of things in Kevin's drafts. We'll just say that. A lot of things.
Oh man, Shaun, I am telling you this, but if the Timberwolves would have lost to the Nuggets, I was coming for Wes. I was coming because now that you can do on Instagram, you don't have to show their @ name. He would tag me in all of their posts, and Wes is posting 8-9 videos, 8-9 pictures, 8-9 gifs, and all of them behind him. Kevin did. My phone's going off. It looks like Kevin. Who is texting you? I'm like, fucking Wesley. And I'm the one person who be saying all this shit because we own the Vikings. So he's like, you know what, Kevin, this is basketball season. Kings are at home. I got to get my shit. And I was like, you know what? I respect it. I can't be mad at it.
I know what you mean. It wasn't like as much, but he started doing it to me too because as we know, like I picked the Timberwolves at the beginning of the playoffs, but the first game that I picked against them, oh my God, he started coming at my neck. And then I picked him again, and he was like, nah, stay on that side. We don't need you. I was like, and like, so he started tagging like my professional journalism account nonstop, and he would do the same exact thing. But I also noticed he would do it to the Stats Over Politics page too. Like I'd see like 8 notifications. Like Kevin, you know what it looks like, and Toddy, you do too. Like when you have multiple accounts logged in, and it might say like 8 notifications or whatever under an account name. And I was like, oh dang, like did we have a clip blow up or something? Then I open it, and I'm like, oh no, this is all messages. Like who's sending us? Then I open it up, it's just Wes. Just and literally, like you said, every single post, it's like, here's a photo of Anthony Edwards, mentions Stats Over Politics, Kevin Dent, Shaun Holko, Jaevon Toddy. Yeah.
It got so bad, I told Toddy about it. So Toddy told me, hey, man, stop bullying Kevin. All right? Take it easy on him. And I told Toddy that in confidence. And he ran off and told Wes, and Wes like, oh, you're calling for backup now? I'm like, see, fuck you, Toddy. This is why I can't tell Toddy nothing because, see, I'm his boys. If we have the brotherly instinct. When someone's getting on us, we got to help him out. And it just dug me a deeper hole.
Yeah, that Wes was definitely the hater of the year, but like you said, understandably so, though. Definitely understandably so. As now